Hello and welcome back to your history classes. Today we are on the last part of the chapter Changing Cultural Traditions. So, in this chapter, we have already studied about how the Renaissance took place in Italy. And by Renaissance, we mean the word Renaissance means rebirth. So it was a rebirth of the Greek and Roman culture in the city of Italy and parts of Europe. We also read about how people started to understand various other subjects and the importance of education as such. So people started studying more and more. They started studying not only different subjects but also they started to study religion. And that's how the importance of education comes in and the importance of religion decreases. So today we are going to study the Copernican revolution, and we are also going to study the something about the theory of universe and can this renaissance be termed as the real renaissance that took place in the 18th century, right? So coming up to the Copernican revolution, over here in the earlier period ये माना जाता था कि जब आप गुनाह करेंगे या इफ़ यू कमिट सिन यू विल गो टू हेल एंड जब आप गुनाह नहीं करेंगे और खूब अच्छी ज़िंदगी जिएंगे जो it is on the principles of your religion and you follow your religion completely and you don't commit sin and you're sorry for your sins, then you will go to heaven. So the concept of heaven and hell was there among the people. जो Copernicus थे, he was a follower of Martin Luther and he was also a man of wisdom. So in the year he lived from 1473 to 1543. So while he was alive, being a Christian, he also believed that if you're heavily burdened with the sins and you do not ask forgiveness and you do not follow a righteous path, then you might go to hell. So उस ज़माने में जो कॉन्सेप्ट था हेवन और हेल का, वो उसका मतलब था कि अर्थ इज़ द सेंटर, okay, and all the planets revolve around the earth. तो जब कॉपरनिकस ने इस पर रिसर्च किया तो उसने ये जाना कि अर्थ सेंटर नहीं है. All the planets are going around the sun and earth is also one of those planets which is going around the sun. So it was something very revolutionary अपने समय के अनुसार. और क्योंकि वो जानते थे कि रिलीजन के अकॉर्डिंगली जो क्लर्जी उस ज़माने में एग्जिस्ट करती थी वो इतनी ज़्यादा ट्रेडिशनल और ऑर्थोडॉक्स थी कि हो सकता था कि वो ये थियोरी को एक्सेप्ट ना करें और उसको ब्लास्फेमी मान के, यानी कि धर्म ग्रंथों के खिलाफ कुछ चीज़ जो कही गई है और लोगों को भड़काने के, उसमें उनको पनिशमेंट मिल सकता था. सो ही वेटेड बट बाय द टाइम ही वॉज अबाउट टू डाई, सो इट इज़ सेड दैट जब वो अपने डेथ बेड पे थे तो उन्होंने अपने डिसाइपल को, जिनका नाम था जोकिम रेटिकस, उनका नाम था जोकिम रेटिकस, उन्होंने अपनी ये थ्योरी दी, अपनी ये बुक दी जिसमें उन्होंने ये लिखा था. बुक का नाम था द रोटेशन एंड दिस पर्टिकुलर थ्योरी अबाउट rotation and revolution and the sun being the center and all planets going around the sun, all this was beautifully explained in that book, but he did not have the courage to get it printed. So he gave it, before he died, he gave it to his disciple. After his death also, it took a long enough time, approximately एक डेकेड के बाद वो किताब छपी और लोगों ने उस पर रिसर्च करना शुरू किया. Then came the time of the great scientists, Galileo Galilei, Newton, and Johannes Kepler, and these were the men who uh, took this theory forward and tried to explain it to the people about the concept of universe, about cosmographical mystery, about what existed in the universe apart from stars, planets, satellites, and so on and so forth. Even the theory of gravitation was introduced, and people knew lots, and they were introduced to lots of new theories and new discoveries and new concepts जिनके बारे में उनको पता नहीं था, और सब चीज़ें बहुत अपने समय के अनुसार बहुत रेवोल्यूशनरी थी, बहुत नई थी, और लोग people were really like stunned to read and learn about these new things. जब गैलीलियो गैलीली जो थे, जब वो अपनी थ्योरी ला रहे थे, तो उन्होंने ये क्वेश्चन पुट अप किया कि बाइबल में ये लिखा है कि या तो हेवन है या हेल है, लेकिन हेवन में चीज़ें कैसे काम करती हैं इसके बारे में बाइबल में नहीं लिखा है. सो फ्रॉम हियर ऑन नो वी ऑल्सो हैव टू सेपरेट theories of evolution, right? एक साइंटिफिक अप्रोच बन जाता है और दूसरा है रिलीजियस अप्रोच. यानी कि यहाँ इस समय तक हम लोग इस बात पे बिलीव करते थे that the world has been created by God. Adam and Eve were the first man and woman, and from there life started. So God created heaven and earth, God created the sun and the moon and the stars, God created the rivers, the seas, and the oceans. That's what is written in the Bible, and that's what people believed in. But Galileo came and questioned this, that if there is a heaven that is created by God, then how do the celestial bodies in the heaven work, right? So जो ये planets की theory थी, जो sun की theory थी, जो rotation और revolution की theory है, ये कितने दिन में sun है, moon है, all the theories of the universe were introduced by these scientists. And as these theories came in, कुछ obviously some people were stunned, surprised to read these theories. Some people were eager to know more about the universe, and some people जो orthodox religious लोग थे, वो उनके लिए ये बहुत ज़्यादा religious के खिलाफ बातें थी. So we had all sorts of reactions when these theories came in. But the plus point was, in that situation was कि इन सब की बुक्स बनने लगी और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इनके बारे में पढ़ने लगे और इनके ऊपर और विश्वास करने लगे. Now the last part of this chapter is that was there a European Renaissance in the 14th century? Earlier I said 18th century, so that's a comparison. जब Renaissance शुरू, there is definitely a period in history known as the Renaissance period, and it is very very similar to the Renaissance that we have read in the 13th and from the 13th till the 18th century. So in this you have particularly read about Italy, but a Renaissance did exist in Europe as well, where people started, they were introduced to various subjects like history, geography, maths, physics, chemistry, bio, and means earlier सिर्फ उनको medicine, religion इन सब के बारे में जानकारी थी, पर अब subjects का जो दायरा था वो और बढ़ गया था, and that's what is called rebirth. Okay, everything was reborn again. पर जब हम 14th सेंचुरी के रेनेसा की बात करते हैं तो इट इज़, रेनेसा वर्ड जो होता है उसका मतलब ही रीबर्थ होता है. सो इट इज़ द रीबर्थ ऑफ द रोमन एंड ग्रीक कल्चर. यानी कि पहले जो वर्ल्ड था, ख़ास तौर से यूरोपियन वर्ल्ड, इट वाज डिवाइडेड इनटू पहले ग्रीक सिविलाइजेशन, उसके बाद रोमन सिविलाइजेशन. तो लोग उसको ग्रीक और रोमन सिविलाइजेशंस या ग्रीक एम्पायर और रोमन एम्पायर के नाम से ही जानते थे. लेकिन अब लोगों को स्टेट्स और सिटीज़ के बारे में जानकारी होने लगी. पहले लोग जो थे वो उनका जो गवर्नमेंट था वो एक राजा महाराजा के एम्पायर या किंगडम के लोगों के रूप में उनको जाना जाता था. बट अब दे वर नोन एज स्पेनिश पीपल, दे वर नोन एज इंग्लिश, दे वर नोन एज Americans or Russians, by the name of their state, right? पहले जो था वो लोगों की लाइफ बहुत जैसे पब्लिक लाइफ होती थी. उनके गवर्नमेंट या उनकी सिविलाइजेशन से उनको जाना जाता था. यानी कि people of the Roman Empire, or what was life in the Greek civilization, or they belonged to one of the three orders, right? या तो clergy थे, या farmers थे, या फिर nobles थे, या फिर अगर वो कोई आर्टिस्ट थे तो वो किसी गिल्ड को बिलोंग करते थे. पर अब ऐसा नहीं था. there was no requirement of a government to be known by the name of the government. There was no requirement to be known as a member of a guild or member of any of the three orders, because people के पास एक sense of identity आ गई. If they were living in Italy, they were known as Italians. If they were living in Venice, they were known as Venetians. और जो शुरुआत में हम लोग ने पढ़ा है कि लोगों को या तो ग्रीक भाषा आती थी या फिर लैटिन भाषा आती थी. तो अब लैंग्वेजेस भी का जो दायरा था वो भी बढ़ गया, राइट? सो पीपल नॉट ओनली न्यू ग्रीक एंड लैटिन लैंग्वेजेस विच वर one of the most difficult languages of the world, but they started knowing other languages as well, because जो ये रेनेसा शुरू हुआ उससे जो ग्रीक सभ्यता थी या फिर जो रोमन सभ्यता थी, जो कि हम लोग कहते हैं कि 13th और 14th सेंचुरी में जो डार्क एजेस आ गए थे, तो उस डार्क एजेस में ये सिविलाइजेशंस या ये कल्चर्स जो थे वो गुम हो गए थे कहीं. बट एज वी कम फ्रॉम द 15th to the 18th century, यानी 15th, 16th, 17th and 18th सेंचुरी में, तब यही पुरानी सभ्यताओं का पुनर्जन्म होता है. मीन्स दे आर born again, and born again in a more wider sense, born again in a more elaborate way and in a more richer way than they already were. यानी कि जो ये कल्चर्स थे वो पहले से ही इतने रिच कल्चर्स थे, पहले से ही they had such a lot in it. The literature, the language, the culture, the traditions that existed in these two cultures was too much, and now it changed and it became more richer. And first it was only limited to the Roman civilization or the Greek civilization, but now it was known to all other parts of Europe and of the other parts of the world also. And not only there was progress and development and change in the cultural traditions of Europe, but we see a lot of development taking place in Central Asia and China also. So these are also places where writing developed, where printing, books and the technique, the technology of printing developed, and it spread to the western part of the world. So this world started to मतलब जो जो रेलगाड़ी थी जो पहले सिर्फ एक ही स्टेशन पे जा रही थी, अब वो उसको मीन्स इट बिकेम अ प्लेस, a train which would capture lot of stations in the entire world. और जहाँ जहाँ एजुकेशन को इम्पोर्टेंस दी जा रही थी या जहाँ जहाँ कल्चर का डेवलपमेंट हो रहा था, विस्तार हो रहा था, तो लोग और ज़्यादा पढ़ाई को, नॉलेज को इम्पोर्टेंस देने लगे और ट्रैवल करने लगे बाहर के देशों में, ताकि जितना हो सके उतना वो नॉलेज गेन कर सके. राइट. So with this we come to the end of the chapter, Changing Cultural Traditions. Next week I'll be sending you the notes for this chapter. So please read the chapter and see the videos, and I hope that you have understood. So take care of yourself. See you later.